Where does big data come into play? I think the traditional mechanism for drug approval, and so you were just talking about within the clinical trial drug approval context, has required a regulatory for companies to conduct clinical trials in consent with patients with new medicines, and to go for randomized trials where you have a benefit over a risk, a safety, efficacy, an efficacy safety benefit, and that's the regulatory framework. At the same time, in order to get reimbursement for drugs, we have to also meet the imperatives of the health technology assessment agencies, who are actually looking for something different. They're looking for evidence of relative effectiveness in the real world setting after approval. They're not interested in the clinical, well, they rest upon the clinical trial data, but really they want effectiveness data. And so they should, because it's our money as taxpayers that are going to contribute to the reimbursement of those drugs. So there we have these two contrasting imperatives upon drug development programs within the space. And here's where big data and technology comes to play, because with the advancement of real-world mobile technology platforms, cell phones, smartphones, tablets, we can now already in pharmacovigilance monitor adverse events, and there are some IMI initiatives which will look at this. So there's already this use of real-world data to monitor real-world effectiveness. And the challenge for us in industry now is, can we also move on with the technologies such that we can implement some of those technologies in real world into the regulatory framework? So in effect, we're trying to move the ship. We're trying to change the regulatory, payer, drug development, and patient landscape all at the same time, so that we can change the platform. And this is actually, the whole shift has been driven by the implementation, the availability of the technologies. And I'm very glad to say that the EMA, the FDA in the US, pharma in the US, and FPA in Europe, everybody's now beginning to get together. There have been a number of meetings last year and this year in which everybody's now talking a common language, and there are publications in Nature recently which are going towards how we're going to tackle this new regulatory payer framework. There are some barriers to all of this, which I'll come back to. I think I'll just tee up one of them straight away, which is, and John also mentioned this, I think absolutely imperative here is communication of the benefits and bringing the patients and the citizens with us, because that's, if we don't do that, we'll fail, and we probably deserve to fail.